Hi, guys. Thanks for subscribing. And if you just happen to scroll and find me and you like what you hear and see, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and help me out. So it still befuddles me that serious people or seemingly serious people try to do this policy analysis with the stuff that comes out of Trump's mouth, the stuff that comes out of Trump's head. And they try and figure out what's he trying to do, what is his policy agenda, to help America. It must be, maybe it's a little bit different or offbeat, but it eventually is going to get us to where we need to be, blah, blah, blah. And they are still normalizing him and acting like he's just a little quirky. He's evil and he's out to destroy America. Everything with Trump is about Trump. He is a narcissist. He is a psychopath. And it is about revenge and enriching himself. So the reason he is so comfortable with his MAGA base is because they're idiots and they're gullible and they're malleable and they'll believe anything he says. And he has no conscience. Narcissists don't have consciences, and he doesn't care. And he's throwing them under the bus and they're acting so surprised, and he doesn't give them a second thought. He doesn't give them a second thought. The reason he's attacking Harvard is because, well, several reasons, but they rejected Barron, but they took Obama's kid. So he's going to go after the universities that he feels have personally hurt him. Not that he cares about his own kids, but it's an extension of him, that last name Trump. And so he is going to attack them and try and ruin them and punish them. Many have said, and I think I believe this, that the reason he finally decided to run for president and destroy America and destroy everybody, he's so filled with hate, was because of a White House Correspondents' Dinner where then President Obama spoke and kind of took some shots at Donald Trump, who was sitting there. Now, the whole purpose of events like that is, yeah, they're going to take some shots at you and you got to laugh. That's kind of the purpose, and Trump can't do it. He can't do it. His ego won't allow it. He's a narcissist. He's a baby. He has the intellect of about a 5-year-old and the vocabulary and the reading ability of about a 5 or 7-year-old. He's not curious about world events or history. He doesn't care to learn about history. He doesn't care about the presidency except how he can use it for himself. He has become wealthier in the past, since he became president with his meme coin, than people bribing him, than he's ever been in his life. I think he's tripled his wealth. He is openly taking bribes. And now that he has his corrupt Supreme Court that gave him full immunity, he's basically shoving it up the keisters of the people that he considers to be his enemies, those who wronged him or said bad things about him. I think, and the reason he has nominated the absolute worst jokes of people to be in his cabinet, again, is to rub people's noses in it, to rub our faces in it. Like, see, look what I did. Yeah, Putin and Elon Musk got me into office, and now he's going to just show us that he could just do the worst things possible and get away with it. And part and parcel of that is nominating people who are psychopaths and incompetent and liars and criminals and traitors and like the absolute worst of the worst. He knows how shocking and horrible they are. But he also knows that because they are substandard human beings with no morals or ethics, that they don't care if they sell out their country and break the law and trash the Constitution, as long as they get what they want out of it. Like in the case of Christy Gnome, she likes putting on her fake eyelashes and she gets her fillers and the lips and the hair extensions and, cosplaying and posing. And she thinks she's just an absolute sexy doll. She and Corey Lewandowski. I understand he lives across the street from her. I don't know. I guess in D.C., his wife and 4 kids are in New Hampshire. She's one example. RFK Jr., obviously a nutcase, his own family. And the more that sane people and reasonable people and influential people, in the media or in society or in politics, the more they say, oh my God, you can't do this, the more he wants to do it. Matt Gaetz, remember that one? Although, They had a falling out at some point, and Trump never forgives. He always gets his revenge. And I think he knew good and well what he was doing to Matt Gaetz so that it was going to end his career. I think he knew what he was doing. And I think Putin helps him with this stuff because Putin's good at this and Trump's not that smart. But Trump, remember, famously said to someone at a lunch before he ran for president that he wanted to spend the rest of his life exacting revenge on everyone who had done him wrong. Here he is, this privileged person in America, a white man in America, well, orange man in America, and he feels like the world just did him wrong. So he's going to get revenge. He hates this country. Donald Trump hates the United States of America. And he hates MAGA. He reviles MAGA. He knows what fools they are. He spits on them. He thinks they're a joke. In fact, he loves showing the rest of us how much and how easily it is to manipulate these fools. That's why he says and does the most outrageous things, like looking over us saying, see, I can get these people to do anything. He loves it. Absolutely loves it. He loves showing us out in the open how corrupt he can be, accepting a $400 million plane from the government of Qatar. He loves showing us that he can hang out with the people who dismembered and murdered Khashoggi, the reporter from our columnist for the Washington Post, Jamal Khashoggi. He loves it. He loves showing us that he can canoodle with Putin. He knows we know. He's doing it out in the open because there's nothing we can do about it. And that's what he loves. He loves shoving it in our face. So when you start talking about why is he doing something, always just stop thinking of him like a normal person or other presidents. He's not doing anything to help America. Everything is designed for revenge, implementing Putin's orders. Got to keep that in mind. I mean, he sold his soul to Putin a long time ago. And Putin understands this guy. He knows what a sick a-hole Trump is. So he knows that when he gives Trump his orders, it helps to have something in it for Trump so that Trump can hurt somebody that he hates. And Putin's that kind of a guy too. So I don't think they're the same person. I think Putin knows how to manipulate Trump, and Putin owns Trump. But Putin also knows that Trump does not love America, and that as long as they have things arranged so that Trump enriches himself and gets to have revenge on his enemies, his perceived enemies, all he has to do is anything Putin tells him to do, Putin has to make sure that Trump makes bank. And ultimately, we destroy America. But everybody gets what they want out of it. These tariffs make no sense. As a policy position, I've seen people, squinting, just trying so hard to find some positive reason for this. Like there must be some secret genius, 3D chess that Trump is playing that we just haven't figured out yet. No, that's not the case. First of all, you impose the tariffs. Trump does these draconian tariffs, and then he opens up his pockets for the bribes. Okay? It's about bribes. Just like he had that dinner the other night where they won't tell us who the attendees were. The President of the United States. Where people who attended the dinner did tell reporters, many of them, yeah, we were buying access. But all they have to do is buy Trump's Memecoin, which is nothing. It's pretend. It doesn't really exist. It is pretend money. It has essentially no value. It is a valueless thing. It's not even a thing. It is a made up hologram of something that they can assign any value they want, the value being whatever it takes to bribe Trump and to gain favor. And all of this, by the way, when they get exemptions and they cut deals and the oligarchs get richer and richer and richer because they bribe Trump, just like Elon Musk. So Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, becomes even richer on our tax dollars. Our tax dollars. They're not going for our roads and our bridges. They're not going to protect us from COVID. They're not going to help places that have been ravaged by hurricanes and tornadoes, natural disasters. Well, I guess actually Sarah Huckabee Sanders, governor of Arkansas, Trump's former press secretary, a Nepo baby, she finally had a call with him and begged him to help Arkansas. And so they finally are. North Carolina, they're on their own. So my guess is he's holding out, waiting for some kind of a deal or a bribe. There's something he wants. There's something he wants before he'll send in federal aid for him personally. Now, sometimes it's just to punish an entire state that didn't vote for him and to punish the governor. Like he wants to punish California. So this is what he's doing. And I wish that the press would stop feeling obligated to make it sound like a serious newscast or something, pretending that there's any other reason for anything he does. You know better. You know better. The press around the world, they're reporting it accurately. Right? They know. Foreign leaders know. Some of them actually stand up to him. Sorry, I don't have a plane to bring you. They know. It's our own media that's still playing this game. Now, I suspect it's because they're owned, they're corporate owned, and oligarchs own them, and so they have to take orders. I don't know. I don't know. Well, actually, I do know. We've actually seen this happen, and we've seen 60 Minutes. I mean, they're all going down the tubes. If they stand up to Trump, their corporate owners like no. So we don't have a free and fair press anymore. We have to rely on foreign media, and they're getting it right. And again, because I say this on almost every one of my videos here on YouTube, shame on Democrats for not doing daily briefings and pushing back on Trump. Shame on you. It would be so easy. I could have this up and running in 4 days, and we could have it fully operational within a couple weeks after that. It will not cost much money at all. Get Pete Buttigieg or somebody of that stature and make them the same kind of staffer or person around like Elon Musk was for Trump, some kind of a super staffer advisory position. Make them do they do the daily briefings. You still have Chuck Schumer talking about the Senate schedule. You still, and then have that shadow cabinet. Every day we should be doing this in the Capitol. So you hit the same news cycle, the same news stories as the White House press briefings. And no, you don't have it at the DNC because press isn't going to travel there and it wouldn't be their beat. You get an office, a room in the Capitol, a permanent room, and you have media right there in the press and Senate and the House and Senate press galleries just waiting for something to cover, and they would. And I think that media outlets would actually assign extra staff. If you need people who are covering the hearings and then also the daily briefings, they would do it, or there'd be a pool camera. And you can have an assessment of each Democratic office or committee or leadership, or just pay for it from out of the policy and steering committee budgets. You have the lead person, preferably Buttigieg, and then you have maybe 5 staffers. And they would be getting a lot of help from the comms staff from House and Senate offices. That this is not happening is a travesty. It is appeasement. It is waving the white flag. I don't care how many cute videos each member does, or serious videos for their own channel, their own press. If the party itself can't do this one simple thing, this is Merrick Garland level incompetence or appeasement. There's something going on here, and it is bad. So I don't know if somebody else sold out to Trump, the way he's been able to get the media to sell out. I don't know. But the lack of pushback is unacceptable. And I'm sitting here, complaining that our American press is caving to Trump. But you know what? If Democrats aren't giving them the content so that they could even do just a he said, even that would help. But Democrats aren't saying anything. So unless you meet him at the same level as a White House press briefing, we will continue to fail, and this will continue to happen. So the pearl clutching about the bribe fest at the White House the other night and the pearl clutching about everything else means nothing if everything is just a smattering out on the outside, or you have people like me and independent media. Great. But we should be amplifying what is being done and said at a daily Democratic press briefing, and it's not happening. So we're out there on our own doing the best we can. Democrats understand what Trump is and who he is. They know everything that drives him is about him. They know that there are Trump voters out there who are now finally disillusioned. And they know that these are people who didn't care that Trump was hurting other people. That's what they voted for. But now they're the ones getting hurt. And Democrats know that they can go and scoop up some of those people and win the midterms, but they're not doing it. And with no pushback, voters think Trump must be telling the truth. That's unacceptable. Everything Trump does is for Trump. Donald Trump cares about Donald Trump and literally nothing else. I don't believe he even cares about his children. They are merely business pawns for him to run the business and help him scoop up the money. And they clearly have daddy issues, but who cares? I don't believe he cares about his children. He certainly has never cared about any of his wives. He doesn't care about MAGA. He doesn't care about Republicans in Congress. Trump cares about Trump, enriching himself and getting revenge. That's it. His entire cabinet is about revenge. He knows he picked, you can't even say that they're the worst possible people. They're nuts. I mean, only a nutcase, an absolute evil, insane person would put these people in charge of the United States government. Trump is that evil, insane person. He also has serious cognitive issues, and he has for a while, and the press ignores that. So I don't know. Does it sound like a conspiracy theory if we have to start wondering if the press, our American press, has been bought? They've sold out. Now we know the corporate owned are because they're afraid of Trump, but has it gone further than that? Just like we had that same speculation with Merrick Garland. Is he just incompetent and afraid, or is there something else going on? Never, ever, ever think that Trump will be reasonable, will listen to reason, and will change and be different than he is. He's not. It's never going to happen. He has to be defeated. He's a bully, but he's also a coward, and he does back down. We have to do better, much, much better. But first, we have to make sure that everybody understands what drives him. And it's not a policy agenda because he cares about this country. It is about him. It is about him. Amassing as much wealth as possible. And again, not because he's going to spend it. Trump doesn't have any hobbies other than golfing. I mean, he may have these, resorts and everything, but he mostly spends his time at Mar-a-Lago, and it's a dump. It's a tacky dump. So it's not that he has these things he wants to do in life. He doesn't. It is about ego. Money for his ego. He doesn't want the money for his kids. It is about ego. this insane drive that he has to fill this void, this huge emptiness in him of insecurity. He's a narcissist. He's a psychopath. He's a criminal. He's a traitor. He's a drug addict. He's a rapist. Don't ever forget that. Because again, every time I see or hear or read anything in the media of some kind of serious sort of analysis of Trump policy, I want to scream. I feel like we're starting at square one again. We're never, ever, ever going to have serious analysis unless you start with the truth, the foundation of everything that we do to respond to Trump and to analyze his policy position and analyze what those in Congress are going to do, is the Republicans understand what drives him. Because if you get that wrong, you're going to get everything else wrong. And we can't afford to.